upfield now. Gazelle putting it the same trajectory. Arizona does the same thing to Mel Dunn. A couple of turnovers, but quick scores, one apiece. On the near sideline, Arizona electing to stay in that zone. The stall count at 7 rises, and it's a block for WAN. To Arizona. Gazelle up for Eifert, just outside the end zone. Reset. Up and away. And it is Maya Melner with the score.
And I'll get it this time.
Gazelle put that one out on a line. The forehand towards that end zone has been money for both teams. Eifert getting it back, and it is Lindsay Doyle throwing the assist there, 22-99. They're coming back. Oda with the disc. Observer ruled that it was a foul. It's floating in that wind. Gazelle, I think, gobbled that one up, back in the hands of Dunn. Over a short field for Arizona. Lippincott gets it. And a falling down. Meester, I think that's Dunn and the goal. I thought it was going to be a call, but maybe just a bobble as both teams coming to the field. That's a score for Arizona.
And this being Arizona's offensive point, obviously they have to take this as a win. They scored this point. LA getting it all the way to their other end zone. And here looks like the turnover that gave Arizona that short field. But, you know, like I was mentioning, LA getting it to all the way to the far end zone does make it kind of feel like they got the most progress towards that upwind side.
Very quick pivoting and faking from Chang. Applegate with the inside on the doorstep, almost a hand block by Steiner, but it is Chang in the end zone. I believe Wan was the thrower, and a huge upwind, almost momentum shift for the Arizona Sidewinders.
So this is great momentum by Arizona, taking their time to find the right option, moving the disc, a nice inside shot by Applegate, and a continuation right there from Chang. Great work from Arizona here, and puts a little bit of pressure on LA to have to do something very similar in that upwind end zone.
Shade looking for that long pass. Big backhand, not high enough. Powell picks it out of the air. A minute left on the clock. Gazelle shoots to the middle. Eifert being guarded by Oda. Lippincott involved. We're saying a lot of different Arizona names. Lippincott throws it and scores. Gazelle downwind. Arizona 2 breaks in a row. They get the upwind and then the all-important downwind the other direction.
Absolutely, and I think this we're talking about, this momentum shift of now LA going back downwind, 30 seconds on the clock. You know, this is definitely going to be important for them. We're going to see this long shot, a great defensive pressure there by Powell to start the offense for Arizona in the other direction.
Arizona is not waiting. They are not hesitating to go the other direction, and I think the Astra defenders are being caught out a little bit, just a little bit out of position. Now it's Leah Jamison upfield for O'Connell. Jamison, the third handler for this Arizona side. Melissa Dunn puts it up into space, elevates Pearson in pursuit, but it is a score upwind for Arizona. Lippincott with the score, marching upfield to start the second quarter.
And again, like I mentioned at the kind of start of this quarter, Arizona does not have to change too much right now. They have a lot of momentum on their side. Arizona looking really strong in their throws, able to move this disc kind of all the way across the field, and that ends up being how they score.
Pearson was so close there on that break side. For my money as a coach, though, I think Arizona is breaking Los Angeles' mark a little bit too easily. For Arizona. Goldstein to Gazelle. We're seeing Arizona hold it a little bit more. Dunn quickly dishing it. Goldstein, the leading pass for Powell. Powell pops it in, usually in the handler space, but catches Astra looking, and a quick score for the Arizona Sidewinders. And the great celebration there from K. Powell.
Absolutely, as you should when you jump in a score like that.
I really love the utilization of players in different positions. We've seen Powell in the backfield mostly, and Goldstein working with Gazelle and Dunn to move upfield, and Powell we've seen only in the backfield, and in this case stretching deep, catching Ash, kind of looking, that was the open side.
Some ground.
Leading too high for Meister, tries to get the second effort. Powell pounces, and it's Eifert with the score. Taking advantage of that short field. Tries to get up, and then at the second time of asking, that one was too high for Meister, doesn't get the second effort, and Eifert you can see moving immediately into that space. The defense doesn't get there, and Eifert gets the score. Caroline O'Connell on the mark as we come back into play. Steiner trying to get a reset. Tight defense from Arizona into that far side space, and it is Powell who pounces again. Back to Meister, and a layout block from Reed.
Wonderful read by Reed.
Two through in order to get that upwind score. Applegate. Again high, the wind. What a bid!
By number 27, Wan. That's amazing kind of heads-up play. And we're talking about kind of legs being tired. Game 2 for Arizona. Not in this possession, not right now.
Reed reels it in, unhesitatingly puts it deep all the way. And I think
that was Setmeyer.
Stetmeyer, Brittany Stetmeyer, the 2025 Breakout Player of the Year. One of the first times we've actually said her name this game, but what a different thing. You can see a huge layout. What a possession saving grab, and then the poise to go the other way. This throw from Applegate goes the other direction. Reed, and there's no hesitation because Oda had come in to try to help, and Stetmeyer was on an island alone and basking in the sun with that upwind score after a lot of chaos.
And almost blocked there by Yi. Getting great defensive pressure on.
Yeah, Melner gets it back to O'Connell. And up the line again, really utilizing that sideline space. High stall, big mark by Pearson, and threading the needle is O'Connell to Gazelle. I honestly thought that was going to be a stall, but it is a score. Again, upwind, and Arizona holds.
And again, another great use of this timeout. Seeing Arizona able to kind of continue using that very small, narrow, open side of the field with a very aggressive mark there by Pearson, but Gazelle able to kind of sneak in that grab, and a well-celebrated score for Arizona.
And Astra yet again has to go upwind, and deed by Chip Chang, close to the halfway line. A shorter field for Arizona, but a costly turnover for LA as this one floats towards the end zone. Pisani in pursuit, and Pisani with the score!
We're gonna watch Aragon here with this long throw, no hesitation. Pisani, a nice read even with some pressure with Avalon Nagawa right on the back pocket.
Chang tries it again, this time for Eifert in the back end zone, and it's Reed who reads it the best.
You know, I think having got to see it again from Chang, I think that's a great move, especially if you have your trusty receivers, you know, Eifert, Reed, Doyle, all fast, all reliable, and we're gonna see this play again. Here's a turnover. We talked about maybe was that contact too much. Looks like Yi said no foul called. And again, no hesitation there from Chang to throw the disc. Two trusty receivers. Reed actually kind of outmaneuvering Ash there on LA to be able to get that disc.
Pritchard blocked by Mel Dunn. Chip Chang signaling a play with that almost shark fin over the head. Looking to the break side, and it is Goldstein with the score for Arizona. A little bit of confusion from Johnston, and Arizona capitalizes.
Let me walk this up and hear this play from Chang.
The Scuba helixing back to Goldstein. Great angle on that throw from Chang. In the Applegate matchup with that mark, Gazelle gets it out on the far side, unhesitating into the deep space, looping. Dunn reels it in. Dunn looking for a reset, being marked by Havranek. Dunn puts it into space for Reed, and the timeout yields dividends.
You know,
Arizona scores, bringing it back within one.
if you are Arizona, this has to make you happy, right? You call the timeout, you control the clock, you only take 22 seconds off the clock, and you're able to get a score. You're back within one. 1 minute left in this game. 1 minute left in regulation play. So here we're going to see this again. Dunn doing a wonderful job. Pulls two defenders, takes the time to find an open receiver.
And Reed doing the work to get into position early. Chang unleashes, not wanting to push it that far. Gazelle reels it in, and it is tied with 22 seconds on the clock. My goodness, what a matchup we are treated to today.
Arizona took this opportunity down to a minute and some change left on the clock. We're going to see this play again. Chang, again, no hesitation, finding their captain Gazelle in the end zone.
Length on length, leading Applegate up line, finding in the middle, O'Connell on the far side, and a score signaled inbounds, Reed.
And a wonderful, again, execution by Arizona, receiving that disc on that first point here in overtime, and able to, with some back and forths, be able to put this disc in the end zone where they need it.
Stetmeyer dishing this disc back, getting it to the sideline. O'Connell with it, and then leading into this space. Reed, you can see almost nobody else is really aggressively sprinting, finding an open position. Reed is so good at utilizing the space that the defense is giving up.